Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and in this episode we are checking out the freeware Fairchild A-10C, or excuse me, sorry, A-10A Thunderbolt 2. Stick around. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. All right, my friends, so this is going to be super awesome. I'm not having any expectations of this. It is a completely freeware product. It will be found on FlightSim.2. A link to this aircraft will be down in the description below. But there's a couple things that brought this thing to home where I just had to try it out after seeing it. So I was cruising around on FlightSim.to, and that is what caught my attention in the screenshots. That is DM for Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, which is located here in my hometown in Tucson, Arizona, which of course is where we are flying the A-10 out of today. So, really cool. Obviously, I have to try it at that point. I'm not sure why there's a nose light on. There's a couple interesting issues that I'll tell you guys about right off the bat. First off, when I loaded the aircraft up here in the parking spot, the engines were already running, but all of the avionics and everything were off. Again, keeping expectations reasonable. It is a freeware aircraft. I believe it is a partial port. I could be mistaken. And then obviously, yeah, you can see here the landing lights are on here, or taxi light. Let's see if I can turn them off. Somehow I opened the cockpit. I'm pretty sure that's my landing light switch, or strobe lights, taxi light switch is doing that. Oh, okay, so that was the landing light. All right, well, what the hell? Let's open up the cockpit. There it is. Let's do it. Let's show it in all its glory here, right? So, let's see here. Where is my mouse? Why am I clicked off screen? Boop, boop, boop. Oh, I know why. There we go. Anyways, so, the engines were already running, but all the avionics were off. Obviously, you guys saw landing lights were on, so really not, expecting a ton. But, with all the other aircraft and military aircraft that are in the sim, this actually looks really good for all things considered. Again, for a freeware project, you guys can see the issues. I'm sure you guys can. I'm not going to point them out. I really try hard not to do that, especially with freeware projects. It's one thing if you're being, charged for it, but this is not. Now, look at the cockpit. The cockpit actually looks really good. Again, there's a couple issues. Those of you, if you know, you know. And this is the difference between the A-10A and the A-10C, by the way, you guys. The A-10 Charlie actually has two MFDs. The armament panel is quite a bit different. Let's see here. I think this is actually where the armament panel is. The second MFD would be here. There's a couple other things that are different here. The upfront control panel is a bit different, but I'm kind of excited to fly this. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to be using the Pimax crystal today. Once again, we're going to start the aircraft up. I'm just going to do a hot start for the aircraft. I'm not going to go through everything. Let's see if there's even a checklist available for it. Let's see if they got, nope, no checklist available. I'll check the documentation here real quick just to see if it is in there. A-10, there it is. No, I don't see any kind of documentation. So yeah, we're probably just going to have to do the auto start. Let's see. Are the switches and things... Actually, the switches are all not muddled. So I guess that makes sense then. Why everything is restricted. So, hot start it is. But let's go. We'll fly it. We'll see what it's like and hopefully have a good time. So stick around, guys. And harshly found out that no, we are not going in VR. I tried to switch it in VR and the sim crashed. So the aircraft is not compatible with virtual reality. Keep that a heads up. But let's go ahead and do the auto start. Sound is pretty good. Heat blur's pretty good. Got one engine rolling. Barometric pressure set. I'm thinking the MFDs and everything are probably, looks like all the avionics are probably not modeled. Okay, so, oh yeah, and if I had read the description, known issues. Because the interior texture is still MDL file, this aircraft will not work in VR. Gotta learn to read things, don't I? Okay, so let's see here. Whoops. Let's see here. Formation lights can be toggled with the recognition lights. Area refueling door can be opened with wing lights. The cannon can be opened with the ground taxi lights. Let's see here. Exterior model, fully animated. Let's see here. Currently, the exterior weapons are set to a fixed loadout, but as soon as the Sobo fixes the multiplayer lights issue, introduced in issue 14, they will be customizable. Let's see here. There's no AI sound. That's fine. All of the weapons are shown in the interior view will be fixed at the same time. I encourage anyone who wants to improve the model to do so. Okay, so it looks like he says most of the interior gauges are functional, but many are not yet, as it's still a work in progress. So keep that in mind as well. All right, now the only trick that I have here is, what about parking brake? I'm guessing we have to bind it, which I thought I did to something. Let's take a look, because I haven't used the keyboard commands for that in quite a while. Wrong one. Control options. Keyboard. Park. Toggle parking brakes. Control and num delete. That's odd. Must be the default, because I sure as hell didn't do that. Where's my num delete key? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's not working at all. So I'm going to rebind that because that's just a stupid binding. Let's fix that real quick. Toggle parking brakes. How about something like Shift P? Look, it's not bound to anything. Whatever. Apply and save, boom, boom, and Shift P. Hey, we're up and running. So it's always going to be very simple. Oh, the taxi's nice. No HUD yet, but like I said, I'm giving this still some pretty good props. I really like the texturing. I think the texturing is very, very nice on this. You can see a lot of effort is being put into trying to make it a nice aircraft. It sounds like the aircraft will work in VR eventually. They said and the reason why I say that, because the aircraft is still an MDL file, still usually indicates something that is going to be adjusted in the future, right? At least that's what I like to say it. So let's see. Flaps, what about flap gauge? Flap gauge is working, good. All right, we should use 20 degrees for takeoff flaps. You know, I didn't even look to see what the wind was. I hope I don't regret that. Oops. But all in all, I'm actually pretty damn impressed with this. Hello, stay on the runway, or stay on the taxiway. The hell? Why is it so far down? I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't want to be that far down. Ah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Oh, you know what? All my payload is gone, and I'll bet it's because... Yeah, let's add some. I mean, it's perfectly normal to add payloads while you're rolling. Ah, that doesn't look like you can see them from the interior. Nope, just on the exterior. Alright, so something else that I'm sure needs to be adjusted. I don't think we'll need that much runway, so we're going to take it here just so we can go have some fun with it. Let's see here. Airspeed indicator, altimeter looks good. Vertical speed, flap indicator's working. Landing gear doesn't seem to be reflecting. Oh, yes, it is. Landing gear handles down. It's only half the runway, but I guess we'll find out. I probably should have taxied a bit further, but hey, living on the edge. That's how we do it here at Overkill Simulations. Because I like to be an idiot sometimes, apparently, because this could end really badly. So we're going to find out. All right, max power. Fans at 100%. Off we go. Airspeed alive. 100 knots. Looking for about 150 for rotation if this is accurate. Pulling back. Come on, baby. Come up. Alright, positive rate. Gears coming up. Passing through 180 knots. Flaps up. Start trimming nose aft. There we go. It is a windy day here in Tucson today, so I'm expecting some of this bouncing around. It's come down to about 90%. Sounds are a little odd. Flaps come up? It says they did. Looks like they're down in that picture. Maybe not. Alright. Well, I mean, it looks good. Let's have some fun with it, see what we can do. Oh! Really? Well, that probably wouldn't have happened there, but let's do this. Alright, so this time we disabled aircraft stress damage and all that jazz. Are my flaps retracted? No, they're not. Okay, we're down. Shoot back on the center line. Airspeed alive. We're using the full length of the runway this time. I did a runway start, so I'm not worried about the flaps. And start rotating. Here she goes. Wheels coming up. There's 250, and roll it. very stable. It's a fun aircraft. Frame rates are great. Kind of sucks that it doesn't work in VR, because that's where this would be a lot of fun. But, all in all, the aircraft's performing very well. The camera back where I wanted it. There we go. Couldn't see the wing. Yep, that's right. Just destroyed the parking lot at TIA. The GAU-8 Avenger. Don't worry, nobody was out there. Just destroyed a bunch of trash cans. Oh, let's see here. We got Maverick missiles on board. AIM-9X Sidewinders. Looks like a GBU-12 in the middle. I don't think that loadout would actually work, but you know, you'd have to release the. Yeah, no, that would not work. But it looks cool, right? Looks like something out of like Star Wars or something. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, hey, I just noticed the weapon's showing inside the cockpit this time. That's interesting. Ooh, baby. There we go. Bringing it around. You can definitely grip it and rip it, guys. I like the G effect. I don't know if that's part of the aircraft. That's probably just part of the sim, honestly. But it's actually a pretty cool plane, man. Alright, snap up, target on, 45-degree roll. Initiate. Oh, come on, you should be able to pull harder than that. Nose on target. Looks like solar panels. And I ended up shooting up the gas station next to it. That's not good. This is actually a really good model, guys. You know, hats off to the developer. I hope you continue your work on this. You are well on your way to having a very cool aircraft. Little tip here, if you want realism, fix that loadout, because yeah, the GBU-12 in the middle of the AGM-65s, that's not going to work. You'll have one or the other on that rail. You certainly can't do a 3 LAU, a triple LAU, and the GBU-12 in the middle. But that's minor. But it flies nice. I like the way it's flying. For Microsoft Flight Simulator purposes, it's. I would never compare this to like DCS World, so before anyone asks, I'm not going to. I wouldn't say anything about that. Plus, again, guys, this thing's free. So, you know, get the developer maybe a cup of coffee, you know, help them out a little bit. If you guys are developers yourselves, maybe see if you can join in, help improve it. He's well on his way. This is a fun add-on. And I think for the price, see what I did there? It's certainly really cool. Very cool. Let's go land it. Did we actually set the barometric pressure on this thing? I don't think we did. I know on the runway it's supposed to start. Let's see here. Altitude is 2,700 feet right now. It's 2,700 feet. We want to be at about 4,300. I'm way high. All right, let's pull the throttles way back. Let's see what kind of speed reduction she gets. I actually feel like, honestly, I feel like she was a little fast for what she can actually do, but maybe not. Either way, had a lot of fun with it. Alright, 4,200, 4,300, there it is. Airspeed, below 200 knots. Let's start dropping some flaps. Airbase is in sight. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. This looks beautiful, doesn't it? It really does look good, guys. He did a good job. I get that this is a partial port, whatever, but hell, I don't care about that. I think it's cool. Alright, let's keep bringing those flaps in. Landing gear coming down. Let's watch that airspeed. Let's add some power in. About 120 knots is what I'm looking for here. flying really nice. Trust me, guys. Give it a shot. Link down in the description below. It's free. What have you got to lose? And I am way too high. Got too busy screwing around with everything else. You know what? I don't think I have my speed brakes mapped. Damn. Yeah, I don't. That sucks. There we go. Not quite as bad now. Wouldn't be overkill without the space shuttle landing. For 100 knots now. Probably wouldn't have landed quite that slow, but again, not looking for realism. It was cool. What a fun little flight. It really was. Uh-oh, I forgot that I don't have the cockpit controls enabled. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the description below. I think it's a pretty cool airplane, especially for something that's free and someone's just trying to add to the community, to the developer. Well done. I think you did fantastic. This is cool. I hope you continue your work. I'd love to see this aircraft continue to develop. As always, guys, stay safe and healthy, and watch out for the next one, folks.